Hey, how's it going, you guys? This is petplatypus here, and it's time for me to bring you my second discussion video. Is death in anime and manga overrated and overhyped? And a second question to add on to that, is killing off characters a good or bad thing? Like with most things in writing, the answer to that question is never just a yes or a no, so let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about deaths in anime and manga. Massive spoiler warning, to say the least, so I definitely recommend looking at this list of stuff I'm going to talk about. These are all the series I talk about in this video, so if you haven't seen any of these series, and you plan to see them, don't watch this video. If you have seen them, then we're good to go. Okay, so the camera might have moved slightly. I had to plug it in because I had a low battery. Anyways, discussion, anime death. Let's go. The good, the bad, the ugly. No, the good and the bad. Well, I mean, the good, we'll talk about that first when it comes to killing off a character. Because it's good to understand what makes, because like I said, is it overrated or not? Let's establish why people like it so much. Sense of danger. Killing off characters can increase the sense of danger in a series. Akame ga Kill, you kill off Shaylee right off the bat, major character, and it's like she's gone. It's like, holy shit, anyone can die. Legend of Korra Season 3 with the Earth Queen, very, very well done, because especially for a Nickelodeon show, to have them die and in such a gruesome way, it really makes you think, like, holy shit, like, whoa, Tonrock just fell off that cliff, Korra's dad, if you don't know him by name. He just fell off that cliff. Holy shit, like, did he die, and it's like, normally you wouldn't think that, but after seeing the Earth Queen die, that was really good writing right there for, on Legend of Korra's part. So yeah, sense of danger being increased, obviously. Other things that death can do is develop other characters around the character that died, whether they be family members of that character, friends of that character. It can harden their resolve and be like, no one else is gonna die, and it can really, further develop those characters. So character development, that's a big part. Shock value, taking you on a feels trip with the fucking emotion, that's always a good thing. But yeah, those are pretty much all the positives I can really think of. Character development, shock value, increased sense of danger, and emotion. The negatives to killing off a character, once that character's dead, they're gone. If you come up with a cool idea to use them later on, they're already dead, so you're screwed. That's just sucky for the writer, but it's still, if a character has so much potential, why kill them off? Killing off a character can also, if you kill off too many characters, which I think Akame ga Kill does this, if you kill off too many characters, you're not going to want to get attached to any of them. You're going to want to, like, disconnect yourself from most of the characters, because it's like, I don't want to, I don't want to get attached to a character and then have them die. And Akame ga Kill, it doesn't do it too badly, but it rides on that side of the line where it's kind of like you don't want to get too attached to too many characters. And it's not like Akame ga Kill's characters are so good that you can't help but get attached. They're all kind of fairly generic, so, Akame ga Kill kind of rides that line. That's pretty subjective, though, obviously. Like, when Shaylee died, I didn't really give a shit, but other people did. Bulat, though, Bulat, oh my god, damn it, he was awesome, but yeah. Let's see, what else is bad about killing off a character? I mean, the same thing goes for side characters, Togashi, where you introduce these side characters and then they die, like, instantly with, like, almost no development. Like, they're just relevant enough to not be fodder, but they're not relevant enough for you to really care about them, and they just get killed off, so it's like, why should I even get invested in them? Like, in the Chimera Ant arc, when you get Kite and his whole little group of dudes, fucking Stick Dinners and the bear dude and the girl with the bubblegum, it's like, I was fucking positive they'd die, so I didn't want to get attached to any of them, and to be honest, none of them are really all that interesting anyway, but it's just like, because so many characters die, it's like, do I really want to get attached to them? Like, I'm watching Akame ga Kill, Susanoo and Chelsea show up, and I'm like, do I really want to get attached to these characters, or are they gonna die? And guess what? Yeah, they die. So, you know, Susanoo was better, though. Susanoo was better handled than Chelsea. Chelsea felt like she was just there to die. Like, she served the plot, like, very little aside from killing some dudes. She was a good asset, but she didn't really serve the plot other than, I'm gonna fucking be a head on a fucking spike, so yeah. You know, and Susanoo, he was really cool, so sucky to see him go, but he went out like a boss. Yeah. And I guess some examples of when death is handled. I'll give like one example of death handled really, really well and one example of death handled kind of badly. Death handled really, really well, I would say One Piece, Ace, obviously, because Oda never kills off characters, and when characters should die, they don't. Hell. And, yeah. You get Ace, and it's like impel down, you know, it's like, we gotta rescue Ace, and all you're thinking is, yep, he's gonna be fine, they're gonna rescue him, obviously. He'll be just like any slobby or whatever. And then it's like, oh, well, impel down, you know, we gotta go to the Battle of Marineford, and yeah, everything's gonna be fine, where he's gonna rescue Ace, you know, and you're not thinking this, like, in denial, you're not like, it's gonna be fine, it's gonna be fine. No, you're not like that, you're just like, yeah, it'll be fine. This is Oda we're talking about, he's not gonna kill Ace, what the fuck? Why would they be dragging out the execution so much? And then he rescues him with the key, and it's like they're fighting side by side, and you're like, see, there it is, and they're all retreating. And then Ace turns around because Akainu had to open his fucking mouth, and we all know what happens after that. It's fucking devastating and so well done, and it's so shocking. And then Whitebeard, on top of that, no one, like, yeah, he's got, you know, health problems, but like, no one would assume he'd die, you know, like, 2 deaths in one arc in One Piece. Ichiro Oda, like, that was masterful writing. That was so good. The shock value, the emotion, the story. It covered all the good things about a character death. Shock value, sense of danger, emotion. It covered all of it. Both of those deaths did. They major story impact and character development. Fucking beautiful writing on Oda's part. One of the reasons why One Piece is one of my favorite. Is my favorite. What the fuck? One of? Slap myself. Is my favorite series. So yeah, and an example of it being done really badly, I don't know if I can think of an example of it being done really badly. I kind of want to say Chelsea from Agame Got Killed, because she falls in love with, or not falls in love, but she like has a crush on Tatsumi for basically no reason at all. He says a couple of cool things. She goes through a little bit of character change, she gets a backstory, and then dead, you know. In a brutal, gruesome way. She was barely there. It just, I don't know, just didn't really work for me. Didn't really get attached to the character. And other people I'm sure did get attached to her. I'm sure other people did like her character. But yeah, I mean, the only thing I really thought when she died was, holy shit, head on a spike. That's some, like, seinen shit. And I also thought, holy shit, she was actually a pretty good asset. She took out a fucking Night Raid, not Night Raid, she took out a Jaeger, but whatever. Lawbox death in the anime, pretty weak, because it made no sense. Like, in the manga it made sense. In the anime, it's like, okay, I'm gonna take you into this other dimension on the ground, and when we come out of this other dimension, we're just gonna be falling from the sky for no reason. What the fuck? And then he lands on spikes. Like, that's so weird. Like, why not just land splat on the ground? Like, very rushed as well. Didn't really like how they handled that in the anime. Not just because it's different from the manga, I just think it didn't make any sense. Like I said, go into the portal on the ground, why the fuck are you falling from the sky afterwards? I guess they could have gone out a different portal, but I don't know. Like I said, rushed, could have been better explained. So those are a couple of deaths I think weren't handled that well. They're not horrible, obviously, but I don't think they were handled as well as they could have been. That's an example of a good death. Ace, Whitebeard, example of bad deaths. I guess I gave 2 examples technically, but they were both from one series each, so yeah. And now I guess I'll talk about why I think death in anime and manga is overrated. Number 1, and this mainly only has to do with Fairy Tail, because it's like the only series I see this for, is people are always like, why don't characters die, this character should die, blah blah blah. I don't understand it. Like, Oda didn't kill anybody off until he got into like the 500s. Fairy Tail is only in the 400s, so what's the big deal? I mean, I'm not saying Fairy Tail is like a great series. I'm not defending everything about it. I think Makarov should fucking be like 20,000 feet underground, decomposed and dissolved, but he's still alive, and that's bullshit. Lisana should probably still be dead too, but I mean, I don't know. It just seems weird to me that people want death in Fairy Tail so goddamn badly when it's so obviously not going to happen. but yeah. And when characters do die, people like throw up all over the place. Like Akame got killed. Every time a character died, it was OMG, you know, reaction. I mean, I don't watch all the reviews. Sometimes I watch reviews, but I mean, I guess I do watch reviews pretty frequently, but you know, it's like, oh my god, reaction, blah blah blah, because a character died. You know, episode automatically gets an amazing just because the character died. It's like, really? Like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, I can understand it for like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood or the original Full Metal Alchemist, Maze Hughes' death, because that had the story impact and that had the character development and that had the shock value and the emotion and it did the sense of danger. You know, so I mean, I can understand Maze Hughes being like, oh my god, he died or whatever, and like One Piece, a character dying in that, but like, really, Akame got killed after 2 characters die, you're still gonna be like, oh my god, Chelsea died. Like, really? Like, you're not expecting this at this point? I don't know. I don't consider a character death to be something that's, oh my god, amazing. It all depends on, was it well done? Was it, you know, good writing? It doesn't matter if they just died. If they died and it was bullshit, then call it out as bullshit. So yeah, I do think death is a little overhyped. You know, anytime a character dies, it's just this big fucking deal, and I'm just like, you know, whatever. Could have been done better, or, you know, even if it is done good, I don't know, it just, because I don't care if characters die. Like, so many people think characters need to die. I don't think they do. If a character is put in a position where they should die, and they don't, where they get shot like 1,000 times or something and they end up alive, or Pell, fucking Pell with that nuke, Pell, you know, it's like, yeah, they should be fucking dead. Or Makarov, you know, the perfect moment with the perfect speech and they give their sacrifice and then something else happens and they live. Or with Pell where nothing else happens, he just lives for whatever reason. That does kind of, not only does it actually kind of take away a sense of danger because they almost died and then they don't, and it's like, wow, you're going to do this a lot, aren't you? You know, like even Fairy Tail did it with that cat. What was Sting's cat's name? Lecter. You know, that was like, oh, did he just get disintegrated? No, Minerva teleported him, and whatever, it served the plot or whatever. Not in a very good way. I'm just, fuck, oh my god. Even hardcore Fairy Tail fans know that that did not go well, but yeah. It's like, if you can't even kill off one of the Exceeds, what are we supposed to expect? Like, where's the danger? We see Natsu fight. Oh, cool, Natsu's fighting, but is it really that dangerous? Are they really in trouble? Like, the only real threat in the series is Zeref and Acnologia. Other than that, you don't really get that sense of danger. So I guess that's probably why people want characters to die in Fairy Tail, but again, One Piece was an offender of this. One Piece didn't kill off anybody, and anybody that should have died didn't, and it was still fucking amazing. People still love the Enies Lobby arc. People still love Saboti. People still love what? Oh, Alabasta, I guess. I don't know. Do people love Alabasta? I fucking love Alabasta. I fucking love Skypiea too, and everyone seems to hate it for some reason. Yeah. But yeah, I don't get it. Like, I've given my reasons why I don't understand why death is so overhyped. I'm sure Kite's death in Hunter x Hunter was overhyped. Is it that surprising, really? Like, I mean, in my reviews I was talking about how it was, you know, surprising that he died and everything, but when you really look at Togashi's track record with these kind of side characters, it's not that surprising, you know? I wouldn't call Togashi, like, people tried to say Togashi and, what's his name, Hajime Isayama, the guy who writes Attack on Titan. People have tried to say, you know, they're writers that they don't give a fuck, they'll kill anybody. Like, bullshit, they don't. Fuck that. Attack on Titan, I'm not completely caught up, but Marco, really, that's not a major character. It was still kind of emotional, but it wasn't a major character. Hannes or whatever, like, fuck, you know, and Togashi, I mean, killing off all those side characters, no main characters die. Netero, but I mean, he was an old guy. I mean, it's still surprising when Netero died, but don't get me wrong, but yeah. Pretty much all I had to say. I recently got into Sword Art Online, and with Sword Art Online, I do like how it implements character death to a certain extent. Kind of raised death flags in the early I'm only up to episode 6, but in, like, I think episode 3 or 4, you had that one girl who was, like, afraid of dying, and just raised major death flags. I expected her to die. Did not expect the entire team that he was with to die in that, you know, trap that they fell into. So, I mean, good implementation of death there, shock value and everything. But, you know, that's just another series that I think handled it fairly well, at least so far within the first 6 episodes. It's handled its deaths very nicely. Or like Naruto too, like just like real quick on to mention, like Neji, like so irrelevant for most of the fucking Shippuden, and then Neji dies and it's like, like I guess he's likable, but he got so fucking sidelined that is he really that important? Or Might Guy should have died opening the 8th gate, would have been an amazing way to finish that character. Naru Jesus shows up and just fucking brings him back. Ino and Choji's, or was it Ino and Shikamaru's dads, because I care about them, right? Like, no, it just doesn't really work to me. I don't know. Just want to throw that in. But like I was saying, what do you guys think of character death in anime and manga? When a character dies, do you guys say, oh my god, that was amazing? Or are you kind of like me and you're just like, a character died, it was part of the story, okay, you know. Unless it's like a super surprising death of like a major character, I'm not all that shocked. But yeah, tell me your thoughts on this in the comments below. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. Like I said, tell me what you guys thought in the comments below. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.